Hi, this is Jason Robinson with Underwriters Auto and KentOhioAuto.com. Just wanted to take a few minutes here to go over this 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon GL. This is what I would call a lockdown project. I bought this old van here just before the lockdown, and it was a project for my three boys and I for about the last 4 months or so. And we're just finishing it up, and I've kind of gotten pretty much everything that I can get done on it done, and just kind of having to sell it now and move on to bigger and brighter things. This is at the end of the day a 35-year-old van. It's a very nice vehicle. We've done a lot of work to it. We fixed up a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a 35-year-old Volkswagen Vanagon. It's a very, very clean unit. We've done a lot of body work to it. We grinded this thing all the way down to, I mean, this thing looked like a DeLorean, which is pure steel. And we put 3 different layers of primer on it, had it painted at Mako. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's what I would call a 10-footer. It looks beautiful from, you know, about 10 feet away or even 5 feet away. If you get up really, really close on it, you're going to see little imperfections and, you know, little stuff here and there. This is not something you're going to enter in and win an award at a car show, or you're not going to put this on Jay Leno. But it is very, very clean. It is very well remodeled mechanically. There's a list of things in a receipt picture that you'll see that we've done to it. Head gaskets and brake calipers, all new brake lines, clutch lines. The tires are in great condition. All 4 of these bumper covers are brand new. I mean, we did a lot of stuff to it. So all this paint is new. The paint up top is all brand new. But, you know, I'm looking for a certain type of customer that understands what this is. This is a great vehicle to go camping in, or to go surfing in, or, you know, take a ride down to the root beer stand on the weekend. I just, you know, I don't want you to have unrealistic expectations about it. It's an old van, so there's just got to be a general understanding that there's little minor imperfections. I mean, we put all brand new seals here in these windows. These are all brand new, but, you know, if you look really close, you might see a little bit of prior body work done. There's no visible rust on the van. As you'll see, you know, we rhino linered the floor to make it more like conducive for surfing or camping, but, you know, you could throw a rug down or something like that. If you wanted to carpet it, you could easily have it carpeted. These seats get removed easily. And I did get some seat covers for it, but I didn't really like the way they looked. I think this looks a lot better. The underneath is all undercoated. There were various different holes underneath that we patched. It's very solid underneath, and like I said, it's got brake lines all throughout, brand new brake lines. The hose lines are all great. They're not cracked or anything like that. The fuel lines are in excellent shape. It's very, very reliable van. I'm not trying to be critical of it at all. I just want to make sure you know what you're getting into, especially, you know, a lot of the people that are interested in this are going to be potentially buying it from different parts of the country. And I just want you to understand, I'm looking for a certain type of buyer that knows what he's getting. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. We did the best we could to fix it up with the time, you know, that we had, and really we're not making any money on it at all, considering we have hundreds of hours into this thing. And, you know, there's just little things that that could be done, and I'm just out of time doing them. You know, I just can't spend any more time. There's a little, you know, like dome light thing here that needs mounted in up there. The stereo works. but when we pulled the carpet out, we disconnected the speaker cables to the back, so that, you know, it just needs some speaker wire ran up to the back. I just can't spend any more time on this unit. Engine is solid, tranny is solid, you know, turn signals work, all that type of stuff works. The air conditioning does not work. 35-year-old vehicle, I'm not gonna, you know, dig into the air when it's really like a weekend warrior type vehicle. The only major repair that could be done, doesn't have to be done, but could be done, is the head gasket, which I'll go over that later in the video. I'm sorry, not the head gasket, the header, the exhaust coming off the engine. There's a little gasket there that, you know, could be replaced. It's got some a louder exhaust than normal because of that. I mean, the thing could be used for the next 20 years and be fine. It's just a little bit noisier than normal. But with the way that the engine is configured, it's a big pain to try to get in there, and you have to take half the engine out in order to do it, and we're just not going to do that for something. It kind of sounds cool, actually, the way that it is now. If I was going to keep it, I would just keep it that way. So please continue to watch the rest of the video. I will extensively video underneath it, so you can see underneath the vehicle. I'll play the engine running, and I'll do a test drive. And again, feel free to give me a call on my cell phone at 330-715-1555. I can go over, you know, any imperfections with you. I mean, like, you know, this has got a reflector on this side here. On the other side, we painted over it. If you wanted to get a new reflector for the other side, you could order one on Bus Depot, or you could paint over this one. I'm gonna have a little pint of paint. You could paint over this one. We weren't sure what to do with it at the time, so we tried it both ways. The only spot where there's any kind of dings, there's a couple dings on the back here that we didn't want to like crack the paint or anything. But other than that, I mean, this back bumper is original. There's little dings, you know, from luggage and stuff on this back bumper. But again, these side bumper moldings are brand new. Front bumper is in great shape, but you know, you can get these for $100 online if you wanted a brand new one. There's just, you know, a little wave here, the little ding there, but no visible rust. This area right here was rusty, and we patched it up very good and did layer. We probably did 3 or 4 layers of primer on that. If you bend down and look really close, you can see that there's been body work there, but I mean, it looks really good. You can see a little bit of prior body work here around the wipers. We're actually spraying the wipers right now, and we're going to put those back on here shortly. The rear view mirror here is silver, and what I was going to do if I had more time is I was going to paint it white to match the top, and I was going to paint the Mercedes rims to match the top. But I've just kind of ran out of time and money on this unit, so I haven't done anything with this. But I mean, it's fine the way it is, but you could tape this off and just paint it silver. It could, you know, just take a little bit of time. Or you could, you know, change colors with it, or, you know, you could even make it the body color. These are Mercedes rims, so they're technically not the proper rims that go with the unit, although I've been told that you could get Mercedes rims factory with the Volkswagen, but the way that they're configured, there isn't the proper amount of the stud sticking through. Technically, it should be sticking through a little bit farther. So again, I would drive this thing for 20 years and not worry about it at all. They work fine. There's no problem with it. But if you wanted to be anal and technical about it, those are not the rims that it's designed to have. Tires are in excellent shape. Again, these moldings are all new on the front windshield, back windshield, they're all new. The fourth gear here. It's got this idiot light on. There is nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It's saying low temperature, but it's not. It'll make that, it'll flash like that. There's really nothing you can do about it. You could try putting a new sensor on it, but it's just an idiot light. It's been that way. Gas gauge works great. Turn signals work great. It's missing a little knob here, which could be replaced. There's no smoke smell. And I'll get it going up here a little bit just so you can see it run out. Brakes work really well. Rotors are nice and smooth. There's no leaks whatsoever. Does not leak on any oil or anything. I will say this, everywhere you go in this van, you will get waved at. You'll get people giving you a thumbs up. Everywhere you go, if you go to a gas station, 3 people will approach you and ask you questions. You go to A&W, you're gonna be the life of the party wherever you go. So lots of new parts on this engine, lots of upgrades. Obviously, as you've just heard, there's headers that come out here and the header gasket needs replaced. So there's a little bit of exhaust noise here. Obviously it's a 1985 and it takes a lot of work to remove that. It's just not something I'm going to get into. The thing sounds great to me, you know, especially for what it is. It's just not something worth, you know, you have to tear almost half the engine apart just to get to it. It's just not worth it. So just know this, if you want a really quiet exhaust like it was when it was brand new, you're going to have to replace the header gasket, and you may have a problem with the bolts, and then you'd have to drill out a bolt or two. But it's just, you know, we've exhausted all our money putting in a new paint job and various other upgrades on this vehicle. It's just not something, a lot of our customers are just going to use it on the weekend, and it kind of sounds like a glass pack type exhaust. It kind of sounds cool. So I'm just not, it's not something that I'm going to take care of myself. You know, if you want to have it done at a dealership or something like that, you know, on your end, you're welcome to do it, but it's just not something we're going to do. It's got new belts. I'll give you a list of the parts here when I show you the receipts of all the upgrades, but mechanically the engine is great, the tranny is great, all brake lines are good, brakes, calipers are brand new, all new brake lines. It's got new lines for the clutch. All your rubber hoses are great. A lot of them are newer. so it doesn't need anything in regards to lines. Fuel lines are solid. As you've already seen in the video, the whole vehicle is undercoated, so it's nice and solid underneath. Very, very clean unit. I'm going to take it on a test drive here, and you can see it, running down the road. Lots of new parts on this engine, lots of upgrades. Obviously, as you've just heard, there's headers that come out here, and the header gasket needs replaced. So there's a little bit of exhaust noise here. Obviously, it's a 1985, and it takes a lot of work to remove that. It's just not something I'm going to get into. The thing sounds great to me. Especially for what it is, it's just not something worth, you have to tear almost half the engine apart just to get to it. It's just not worth it. So just know this: if you want a really quiet exhaust like it was when it was brand new, you're going to have to replace the header gasket, and you may have a problem with the bolts, and then you'd have to drill out a bolt or two. But it's just, we've exhausted all our money putting in the new paint job and various other upgrades on this vehicle. It's just not something. A lot of our customers are just going to use it on the weekend, and it kind of sounds like a glass pack type exhaust. It kind of sounds cool. So it's not something that I'm going to take care of myself. If you want to have it done at a dealership or something like that, on your end, you're welcome to do it, but it's just not something we're going to do. It's got new belts. I'll give you a list of the parts here when I show you the receipts of all the upgrades, but mechanically the engine is great, the tranny is great, all brake lines are good, brakes, calipers are brand new, all new brake lines. It's got new lines for the clutch. All your rubber hoses are great. A lot of them are newer. So it doesn't need anything in regards to lines. Fuel lines are solid. As you've already seen in the video, the whole vehicle is undercoated, so it's nice and solid underneath. Very, very clean unit. I'm going to take it on a test drive here, and you can see it, running down the road.
Such is the way of the world, you can never know just where to put all your faith, and how will it grow. Gonna rise up, burning black holes and dark memories. Gonna rise up, turn mistakes into gold. Passage of time, too fast to fold, suddenly swallowed by signs, lo and behold. Gonna rise up, find my direction magnetically. Gonna rise up, throw down my ace in the hole. mystery to me. We have agreed with which we have agreed. And you think you have to want more than you need. Until you have it all, you won't be free. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. When you want more than you have, you think you need. And when you think more than you want, your thoughts begin to bleed. I think I need to find a bigger place. 'Cause when you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. There's those thinking more or less is more. But if less is more, how you keeping score? It means for every point you make, your level drops. Kinda like you're starting from the top, and you can't do that. Society, you're a crazy breed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely without me. Society, have mercy on me. I hope you're not angry if I disagree. Society, crazy indeed. I hope you're not lonely